Hey everyone, I'm going to show you a new deck, Cerebral imaging deck that I've been working on for a while. It doesn't have Shipment from SanSan's in it to combo with Efficiency Committee. It just scores off of biotic labor and occasionally out of a remote. But mostly the plan is to stack ice on R&D and HQ and keep the opponent out that way. So this hand is like somewhat keepable. It's got ice. It's got a hedge fund, which is usually like a good start. Alright, Victor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down Victor on R&D and Bastion on HQ. These are relatively difficult ice to parasite to death, so I mean I don't want to put down Rototur because if he just face checks it, he's just gonna, he'll be fine. As it is, I'm not gonna res Victor in any event, but I will res Bastion. So I'm keeping like the sentries in reserve until he actually plays a program. I could actually res this, but I'm not going to. Agendas being stolen right now are not the biggest deal in the world, I don't think. Alright, so he got one. But the thing about that is, like, if he runs there, I don't know. If he runs there and he hits, then at least I don't have to draw this agenda, which I don't want to see. It'll get me closer to econ. Another agenda. So if he ran again, I would have been in trouble. So I'm going to draw a card and click for 2 credits. I do need to get to... I need to get to some more econs, so that way I can actually pile more ice on. The biggest disadvantage of this identity is that if you, you can't always res all your ice, otherwise you'll force yourself into discards. So he's got Mr. Lee. Interesting choice of a splash. Can't say I disagree with it, but it costs 1 more than quality time, which I think would be like the other thing that you're... Alright, so now I'm actually going to res, I think. I will have to discard this turn if I don't draw like a green level clearance. But that's not the biggest deal in the world, I don't think. And it does stop him from gaining data sucker tokens. Oh, that's pretty good. So let's do that. Alright, so now I've got my ball rolling, so to speak. I assume that he's going to try and like parasite some of my stuff. So I'm gonna want to lock up archives with, I don't know. A rototurret wouldn't be awful, but if he's like got clone ships, he can just destroy it instantly, pretty easily. It might be better to Ichi over here. On the other hand, it's usually better to stack biowords on top of each other, so Ichi in front of R&D would be pretty good also. Ideally, I would draw something like a pop-up window to put here first. I do have 3 pop-up windows in my deck. So yeah, now he's running archives. So I'm going to actually ice up archives this turn. He got 1 sucker token. That's about as much as I'm willing to concede. Alright, so let's put Enigma there, actually, because... I can. It's cheaper. It threatens to be one of these things without me having to actually use them up. And since it's dead to Yogg later, which I assume that he's probably playing, I won't have to, like, lose it off of a central after installing over top of it. Alright, so this is a little bit awkward. So I'm going to install Jackson and draw 2. I really need to get some more econ. That's great. Alright, so now I can use my Jackson when he runs it to just shuffle in 2 hedge funds and a celebrity gift, which is good. I mean, like, it effectively decreases your agenda density every time you do something like that. And usually with this deck, you need to, well, you need to, like, you need to play biotically for 4 times to win, and you need to play your econ spells more than that to win. It might actually be a good idea to try and score out of a remote server. Enigma is like pretty good at trying to do that, because if they need to like special order for their breaker or something, or if they don't run on the first click, they won't actually have enough. Alternatively, I could just build this remote and you know, put 2 ice in it, like 2 ice, accelerated beta test, or Vitruvius. And there's a rook. So he's trying to like credit deny me, I guess, which is not going to be like phenomenal. I'll show him. I'll show him this, I guess. I usually like to show people an Ichi and then not show them it anymore, because Ichi is like, I guess, the scariest ice in this deck. So I want to. I don't want to make it like what's the word? I want to make it look like lots of things are Ichis when they actually aren't. So that way they are afraid to run while it's most easy for them to get in. So I could have tried to like build a remote here, but he's got Katie with 6 on it. If he does have Yogg in his hand, like, he's gonna get in, and I don't want to risk it. I mean, I could do 2 ice, and then I would almost certainly score, and it's probably maybe a good idea, because I could score multiple agendas in that way. But I want to see. I mean, like, he could always be like rooking. Oh no, this is actually an imp. This isn't a rook. All right, so he's in my he's into my HQ. I do have Enigma Rototurret to try and score an agenda now, but I think I need to ice up HQ a little better. Probably a Rototurret would be a good start. And why don't I do an Ichi too, for good measure? Since he's trashed my biotic labor, I don't have an opportunity to score. So I'll just draw. Oh boy, more agendas in my hand. Shouldn't there not be 1 virus counter on this imp now? Weird. Alright, so now I do have biotic labor, but I'm going to green level here. And, And I guess I'll draw again. It might not be a bad idea to try and clear virus counters because of Victor. and Yogg. But he does get, like, once he installs Yogg, he is freely running R&D. Though he thinks this is an Ichi, probably, if he's thinking at all about it, because of my trickiness. In reality, the Ichi's up here. But, you know, anything can be an Ichi. Oh, so he's not playing Yogg. He's only got Zoo 13 Keymaster. Perfect. So I'm going to continue icing my centrals. And just drawing cards. Vamp is like a pretty big threat against this deck, so I'm going to need to make it like especially expensive to get into HQ. Like, he could just be putting money on Katie, putting money on Katie, putting money on Katie until he's got like a billion money. Yeah, and it looks like that's what he's doing. He already discarded one Vamp, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has another one. So I've got to be a little bit afraid of that. Man, more agendas? Really? Alright. I do have Celebrity Gift here, so that's what I'm going to do. I think I have showed him like a beta test, or I showed him this corporate war already, I think. So I'll show him it again. So yeah, this is like pretty much how I usually work the deck, is I just stack ice on top of R&D and HQ. He's like a little ways off of like vamping me. He's gonna need to like install, I guess, a Mimic or a Ninja or something, and then pay a lot of money to get in. Like, at least 5. I guess that's not a ton. But I could oh, HQ interface. That's really dangerous for me. He might be playing, he might be playing the Team Covenant guy. I forget his name. Whizzard deck. So let's do search tools. I think he posted in the past month. Maybe not. Alright, well, whatever. I sort of remember what's in this deck. Although I don't think he played this Dyson Mem chip, so maybe not. Alright, there's a Jackson Howard, which I need. So let's do this. One very interesting thing about this deck is, you can sometimes just ignore R&D altogether if you draw enough cards. So right now I have 7 agendas in my hand and he has 1 of them scored. So that means that there's 2 left. Right now I have 10 2-point agendas in this deck, 6 3-2s, and then 3 corporate wars and an efficiency committee. So there's only 2 agendas left in R&D. So I should maybe just be drawing lots of cards. It is like dangerous because of Vamp. But what I can do is I can just draw cards, gain money, and start scoring. Make it difficult for him to vamp me, maybe. Maybe stack another Ichi on top of HQ. Alright, good. So he's taking money off Katie, which means that, yeah, he's probably not trying to vamp me. and he does have Ninja in his deck. So he's probably going to run on HQ now. Hopefully he doesn't get 2 agendas. If he gets 1, not the biggest deal in the world. So now he's going to have to pay 5 or 3 plus 3, I guess, if he doesn't want to take the tag. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 2 data sucker tokens. He does get trashes with imps, which is bad. Unfortunately, that's not another Ichi. Now he's going to think about whether to use data sucker counters or not. My HQ is definitely the most vulnerable spot. He's got HQ interface, like all these agendas are here. If he double misses here, I'm pretty lucky. It looks like about half my hands is agendas. So, and he does have the imp. But he does only get 1 trash with the imp. Alright, so he got 1. Not the worst. And he can't afford to run the next turn. I mean, he could maybe like click through Ichi, but I think I'm just gonna put another one there. Seems like the best thing to do. Hopefully he doesn't play Sneak Door Beta. That would sort of wreck me. I could play an Enigma here to prevent him from clicking through, and that actually doesn't seem terrible. And I will draw a card. I have 1 Shipment from Miramorph in this deck, whose main purpose is to shipment out biotic labor, or shipment out a Jackson Howard along with an Archive Memories, which allows me to run the beta test. I'm sorry, it allows I shipment out biotic labor and I shipment out Jackson Howard. The goal being beta test Jackson Howard, then I biotic labor the beta test and score with Jackson Howard in play, so I can run the beta test safely. Here I'm just going to draw cards. This makes the it makes HQ less agenda dense, which is sort of important right now because I've got a lot of agendas in HQ. Oh man, liberated accounts. Alright, so that puts me in a little bit of a tight spot because he can get in. But that's pretty good. Maybe I should just be scoring here. Could he vamp me? Not really. Alright, so I'm going to score to get an agenda out of my hand. I'm actually going to score a beta test, and I think I'm going to run it. I only have 1 agenda left in my deck. And he doesn't have a way... Oh, he does have a way to break through Enigma, but it's like a little bit expensive. Let me think. Should I run this? How many ice do I have left in my deck? I have 1, 2, 3 in my hand. He trashed an Enigma. No? No, he didn't. So I have 1... Oh, I put the Enigma out here. So I have 1, 2, 3 ice in my hand. I have 4... So I have 5 ice left in my deck and 1 agenda. I'm actually going to score this beta test. Oh, wait. Shit, I'm going to have to discard so many cards from doing this. Man, like that would have been a very bad move. I have not enough cards in my hand. Alright, so instead, I'm just going to Celebrity Gift. And, I could draw a card here. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, if I had scored there, I mean, it's not a bad time to score or anything, but if I had tried to score there, I get in trouble if he, well, I get in trouble because I have to discard. Alright, so he's going to get in. He's probably going to get one. I have 6 agendas out of 18 cards. So 1 and 3 on each of his shots. So he's likely to get 1. Which doesn't win him the game, thankfully. We'll see. Maybe he'll get 2. Biotic labor, green level clearance. Alright, fair enough. That's a miss. We'll take it. Unfortunately, he's binning all my biotic labors with his imp. But I'm safe this turn. I do need to gain money. Fortunately, I have a lot of ways to recur the biotic labors. I still have 1 Jackson Howard left, and I've got 2 archive memories in hand, 1 biotic labor in deck, and 1 archive memories in deck. So I can actually do it without Jackson Howard. But right now I just need to get cards out of my hand. So that way I can score without discarding. I actually had 7 agendas in my hand. I've got 1 left in my deck. Alright, so I guess scoring is pretty good. It does reduce my agenda density a little bit. That's a pain. Man, so many liberated accounts and all this shit. So how much is it costing him to get in? It's costing him 6 per Ichi. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we can get in next turn. Alright, there's my Jackson Howard. That's kind of good. But I think I'm just going to score here. Actually, I could do this trick. Yeah, I think I will. Alright, so here's how you score a safe beta test. Awesome. So now this is pretty damn expensive for him to get into. This is one of the bigger ice towers I've built. This is 7 ice on HQ. That's like really the beauty of this deck is you can so overprotect HQ because by the end of the game, that's usually where all the agendas end up being. Some people think that like a good part about this deck is that you don't have to protect HQ because the sheer number of cards in your hand will save you, which is only really the case if you're scoring the agendas. But if you're waiting till the end of the game like I do to score these agendas, they sit in your hand for a long time. Alright, that's a Mimic. That's actually pretty good here. It gets past one of these... It gets past one of those ices, some of these ice pretty easily. So here I'm going to draw up with Jackson a lot. I'm going to Archive Memories of Biotic Labor. And then I will restructure. So now he's got like sort of easy accesses. He does have like a 1 in 5 shot on R&D. But I will res this ice if he does run it. I'll res any of these ice if he runs this turn. Weird that he took money off of Katie Jones before putting it on. I think I want to use my Jackson here. Because I don't want to draw. I don't want to draw that last agenda. I could shuffle in another archived. That seems safe. So I'll do that. And then I'll score here. There's only 2 ice left in the deck, so I'm not gonna run this beta test. I could have actually kept Jackson Howard around and then run the beta test safely. Maybe would have been better. 5, 7, 4. No, there's only 1 ice left in the deck. I think it's an Ichi, which is pretty good to land right now. Or is it an Eli? I don't remember. Maybe there's 2 ice. Maybe I have 18 in this list. Sometimes, in that scenario, it's a good idea to Jackson Howard and ice, if you have any in your discard, to make the beta test more potent. If they leave it there. But he looks like he's like going to be able to maybe get 1 more access. Ice Carver. That's pretty insane right now. That turns Mimic into an Ichi Breaker without a Data Sucker token. It also, I mean, like, it's also just generally pretty good against this. It's going to save him, well, a lot of money. We'll see if he vamps me. Is he thinking about Dirty Laundry, but he doesn't know if he has enough? He probably does. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He actually doesn't. Oh, yeah, now he does. Alright, so he's going to get in. Might actually be less. Yeah, now he has actually just enough, I guess. Yeah, he has just enough. Or close to just enough. Yeah, actually just enough. Well, he should have spent one more. Oh, no. It's strength 3. Pop-up window hedge fund. So that's a miss. Good news. Alright, so it's looking pretty good for us now. We can just score here. And now since we drew the last agenda, we can definitely run this beta test. Okay, so now our hand is really, really deep. We've got 8 ice on HQ there, and we got 1 archive memories, 1 biotic in there. I'm gonna res this actually. I'll make him pay. So, no sneak door beta, guys. That's all we need. This is pretty prohibitively expensive. And now we can archive memories that biotic labor, and we'll score next turn. So this is how you non-combo cerebral imaging with 8 ice towers on HQ. Pretty absurdly expensive. You might notice that a lot of this ice has strength 4. Stem hack, huh? I guess I'll no res. He doesn't have an imp in play. So I'll just let him stem hack. This is not gonna do it. If he has another stem hack for HQ, I mean, is that enough? So I know that neither of these 2 cards is trashable. If he played an imp first, I would have had to res ice, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Imp could have maybe gotten me, because if he gets in twice, he can trash 2 cards and then I'm decked. But, this is not the case today. So, there's the win. Thanks for watching, guys. And, have a good one. Please subscribe to the channel, you know, if you like my videos and stuff. And like them and comment and stuff. It makes me happy.